Hello, YouTube land. Welcome back. Part 2. Commander Legends pre-release draft. So, based on the rule sheet, regular Commander draft is supposed to work with 3 set of 20 card boosters. We are building a 60 card deck, which includes lands and both commanders inside. And singleton rule is not in effect for this. And for pre-release, you were provided with 6 boosters. So we're going to go through 6 boosters in this video. Hopefully we'll go faster than the first one. So the way my videos goes, I don't really care about their values or their rarities. I'm more interested in just seeing what's out there. I've been out of the scene for 20 years. I'm playing a whole lot of catch-up. And also separating them by colors as opposed to the other things. As opposed to the other categories, it makes it a lot easier for me to actually build a deck. So 20 years ago, I don't think pre-release events were a thing. And pre-release draft, limited, whatever you call this thing, was not something I did. And because I got back into this when the pandemic kicked off, yay 2020, I haven't had a chance to do this in person, and I think it would be kind of fun to do this live on video, opening up the packs and then getting feedback from the community. What would you guys build? That I would like to know. And I will build it and end up playing with my girlfriend. So we're going to end up with 4 decks here. First one ended up being my focus, green and black. But leave your comments on that video and tell me what you would have built instead. And I would love to see your deck lists on that video. So if you're jumping into the second one and missed the first one, go there. There will be subsequently 3 and 4. So let's do this thing. Let's get cracking. By the way, the pre-release include for all of them were Sengir the Dark Baron. So I put one of them aside with the first one I opened. I got 3 more. So I guess this is like our wild card. And the other rule for the draft is Prismatic Piper. That's a colorless legendary creature. Even if you don't draft it, you can put one in. So if you're trying to build your deck and you need another color, so you can have a second partner commander, you can essentially just slip in a Prismatic Piper even if you don't pull him in the draft according to the rules. So let's get back to it. So keep that in mind if you have some sort of archetype in mind, but I am lacking the commander from my pulls. We can always essentially proxy something in. Supernatural Stamina. I think I pulled this earlier. Creature gets +2/+2, and this creature dies, returns to the battlefield. Yep, pulled that earlier. Trusty Pack Beast. Yep, had that before. Flood of Recollection. Is that Jace on Ixalan? Return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand, and then exile this. Oh yeah, I pulled one of these. Dragon Egg. Isn't this a classic from one of the Alpha Beta Unlimited? It's 3 mana for a 0/2 defender, and when the egg dies, he becomes a 2/2 dragon creature with Fire Breath. Howling Golem. Now this was an include in the Game Nights box set, and I have taken him out of everything. But he is a good draw engine if you don't mind other people on the table drawing also. Kite Sail Skirmisher. I'm not going to read out the cards that I definitely read in the previous videos. King's Bale Courier. Kithkin Soldier. 2/1 for 3 mana. Enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 on target creature. It's got Encore. Encore means we can cast it again out of our library. We have a copy for each opponent, and then they all get sacked at the end step. I believe that's how that goes. Stone Fury deals damage to target creature equal to the number of lands you control. Okay. Pirate Cutlass. Enters the battlefield, attach it to a pirate you control. Gets +2/+1. Or equip it to, I guess, to anyone else for 2. Entourage of Tryst. Elf Soldiers. 5 mana for 4/4. Comes into play, I become the Monarch. Entourage of Tryst can block an additional creature each combat as long as you're the Monarch. Okay. Phyrexian Rager. Oh, look at this art. My god, are you seeing this art? Is this coming across clear? This would look epic in foil. Enters the battlefield, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Well, he still looks awesome. Rupture Spire. Rupture Spire. Enters the battlefield tapped. Enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you pay 1. And then you can tap it to add mana of any color. There's another land. It's exactly like this. It's a gate. Right? Gate comes into play, pay 1 or sack it, but then you can tap it for any color. Okay. Sparkstone Dragon, pulled that in the first one. Vow of Torment. So, gets +2/+2 in Menace, but then whatever's enchanted can't attack you or your planeswalkers. Sifter Worm. Enters the battlefield, scry 3. Reveal the top card of your library. Gain life equal to that card's converted mana cost. Otherwise, it's a 7/7 Trampler. Explosion of Riches. 6 mana, draw a card. Then each other player may draw a card. Whenever a card is drawn this way, Explosion deals 5 damage to target opponent. Chosen at random from among your opponents. This could be fun and annoying. Training Center. It's a rare land. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you have 2 or more opponents, so this is great if you're starting the game. There you go, lands. Kangi, Skywarden, Bird Wizard, Legendary. 5 mana for a 3/3 with Vigilance and Flying. When it attacks, creatures with Flying get +2/+0 until end of turn. When it blocks, they get +0/+2 until end of turn. Okay. Malcolm, Keen-Eyed Navigator, a Siren Pirate. Since when do sirens fly? 3 mana for a 2/2 flyer. Whenever 1 or more pirates you control deal damage to your opponents, you create a treasure token for each opponent dealt damage. And this guy can partner. Fire Diamond. Yet another one of these 2 mana lands that... oh, it's foil? Yeah, this is foil. Okay, so my foil is a reprint from Mirage or Visions. And we got ourselves a Theros Soldier token. Alright. These are a little tough to open. Come on now. Come on now. There we go. Life Crafter's Gift. 4 mana, put a +1/+1 on target creature, then a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control who already has a +1/+1 counter on it. I feel like this should have been in the +1 jumpstart thing. Mouthful Twins. It's a 6 mana 4/4 zombie. When it dies, create 2 zombies in its place. Okay. Angelic Gift. Enters the battlefield, draw a card, and a creature gains flying. Prosperous Pirates. Enters the battlefield, create 2 treasure tokens. 5 mana, 3/4. Crimson Fleet Commodore, an ogre pirate. That's funny. I still can't get over red pirates. 4 mana for a 5/2 of trample. Enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. Sisay's Ring. I have like 3, maybe 4 of these in the original brown from Visions. And my understanding is this is the Poor Man's Soul Ring. Everyone trashes this card. Seraph of Dawn. Let's see. 4 mana for a 2/4 flying lifelink angel. Path of Ancestry. Comes into play tapped. Add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. When that mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander, scry 1. Soul's Fire. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to any target. I think I pulled this earlier. Fleabag Marauder. That's another one that was in Game Nights. Enters the battlefield. Each player sacrifices a creature. 3 mana for a 3/1 zombie that makes everyone sacrifice a zombie. But if I sacrifice him, I get 2 zombies back. Prying Eyes. Draw 4 cards, then discard 2 cards. Annoyed Altisor. 6 mana for 6/5 of Reach, Trample, and Cascade. Alright. Sandstone Oracle, an artifact creature Sphinx. 7 mana for 4/4. Enters the battlefield, choose an opponent. That player has more cards in hand than you. Draw cards equal to the difference. Okay. I see the appeal of him. Imperious Perfect, Elf Warrior. 3 mana 2/2 elf that pumps other elves. Green and a tap to create more elves. Okay, this is a great elf lord. Pay a green, create another elf, and all elves get +1/+1. Besides, you know, this is a good elf. I like this elf. That would have been really good in my if that was in the other draft I was doing. Pride of the Perfect, enchantments. Elves you control get +2/+0. Well, are we gonna make another black-green elf deck? Alright, Coercive Recruiter. 5 mana for a 4/3. Whenever a Coercive Recruiter or another pirate enters the battlefield under your control, gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap it and Wait. Until end of turn, it gains haste and becomes a pirate in addition to other types. Okay. And another orc pirate. Orcs as pirates. This is craziness, madness, insanity. Dargo, the Shipwrecker. A giant pirate. How can you be a giant pirate? You need to be able to fit on a boat to be a pirate. What do you do? Fling lobsters at the end at the enemies? Alright. 7 mana for 7/5. He's got trample. He's got partner. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may sack any number of artifacts and or creatures. This spell costs 2 less to cast for each permanent sacrifice this way, and 2 less to cast for each other artifact or creature you sacrifice this turn. I feel like I'm missing something. Okay. Sack any number of artifacts and or creatures, and he costs 2 less for each artifact or creature. And 2 less to cast for each other artifact or creature you've sacrificed this turn. I don't understand that second part. What is that second part for? Somebody please explain this to me in the comments section. I don't get it. What is the point of that second line explaining the mana reduction? Oh, Numa, Jorga Chieftain. Legendary Elf Warrior, 3 mana for a 2/2. He's got partner, or she's got partner. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay double X. When you do, distribute X +1/+1 counters among any number of target elves. Ooh, we are leaning hard on elves here. Fiery Cannonade deals 2 damage to each non-pirate creature. Board wipey for red. Hello, Prismatic Piper. We were talking about you. Yeah, so this is our legendary slip into any draft deck Prismatic Piper. 5 mana, 3/3 with partner. If it's your commander, choose a color before game begins, and it is the chosen color. So if we are drafting and we really want to do like green-white and we don't have a green-white commander, we can pick a green commander and say this is white. And you don't even need to draft this card to get it, so I think this is not fair that I got this in a draft. I feel like, give me an extra card, dude. Is that why everyone gets a Baron? Alright. And a horror token, which is cool. Haven't seen those before. So this is booster number 3. If we were doing a regular draft, that would be it. Whatever I get out of this booster and what's already on the table is what we have to work with. Impulsive Pilferer, a goblin pirate. 1 mana for 1/1. And when it dies, create a treasure token. And then you can encore. Hey, say now. When the encores have to be killed off at the end of the turn, I get treasure tokens for that too? This is starting to be good. So he dies, he goes to the graveyard. I pay the encore. I get, let's say, 3 opponents on the table. I get 3 goblins attacking, and then they all have to die regardless at the end. So then I get 3 treasure tokens, right? I'm understanding this correctly, right? Finglade Fugitives, Elf Salamander Rogue. What? What is this nonsense from? Can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. It's a 7/4 for 6 mana, and it's got Encore. Okay. Okay. I think we have to use green. I think we have to use green. Exquisite Huntsmaster, Elf Warrior. 4 mana for 4/2. When it dies, create a single elf token, and it's got Encore. I like it. Another Armory of Erois. Another Cage of Hands. Another Scrapdivish Serpent. A second Rupture Spire, and a reminder that Singleton is not in effect when doing this draft. A second Phyrexian Rager. Makeshift Munitions. Okay, red enchantment. Sack an artifact or a creature, and it deals 1 damage to any target. Isn't this Goblin Bombardment? Except you can use an artifact also. So this is an enhanced Goblin Bombardment. Or is Goblin Bombardment free? I don't remember if you need to pay mana before sacking. Sky Diamond. Scrounging Bandar, which was an interesting cat monkey that I pulled out of the +1 thing from Jumpstart just the other day. Another Ghastly Demise. Spontaneous Mutation. Let's see, it's an enchantment for 1 blue that gets flashed out. Enchanted creature gets -X -0, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard. Vow of Wildness. So that's part of our vow cycle. Creature gets +3/+3 and has trample, but cannot attack me or my stuff. My planeswalkers. Guildless Commons. Surely this is from Ravnica. What do? This is the first time I see this land. Enters the battlefield tapped. Enters the battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand. And then you can tap it for 2 generic. That's not too bad. especially with Zendikar's landfall so plentiful that we want to get our lands back. Plus this thing increases our mana, but I don't think I have anything here that cares about landfall. Meteoric Mace. Equipped creature gets +4/+0 and has trample. It's got equip 4 and it's got cascade. That could be handy. Coercive Recruiter, another one. Do I have 2 of this in one draft? Or were you in the earlier one? Ah, there you are. So I got 2 of her. So remember, no singleton in this format, so I can use the 2 of her. Ardent Intrepid Archaeologist Core Scout. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may attach any number of auras and equipment you control to target permanent or player. This guy's got Partner, and it's 3 mana for 2/2. Well, so this guy synergizes or enhances Akiri, the latest Akiri from Zendikar Rising, right? They both seem to care about an aura and equipments. They care about them equipments. Hamza, Guardian of Arshin. 6 mana, 5/5. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each creature you control with +1/+1 counters on it. Alright, I think I saw a number of +1/+1 type of stuff in this deck or in this set of cards already. Our foil is a Merchant Raiders. 4 mana, 2/4. This guy or another pirate enters the battlefield under your control. Tap up to 1 target creature. That creature doesn't untap during its control's untap step for as long as you control Merchant Raiders. So am I able to tap out opponent creatures every subsequent pirate or not? Like if she comes out and then another pirate comes out, do I tap 2 creatures? Or can I only tap up to 1? Let me know in the comments. And yet another zombie token. I mean, it's the first one for today, but I have an army of them already. Alright, so that was 3. So if we were in regular Legends draft, what would you build so far? I'm kind of excited about those elves. Out of all my commanders, maybe have a Hamza. Hamza as a commander. Vow of Wildness. I mean, go green-white. Should I go green-white? I think I should go green-white so far. Alright, so let's go pre-release style and open 3 more boosters. Alright, another Blade Brand, another Squad Captain. Oh, there we go, talking about +1/+1 counters. Universal Solvent, what is that? It's a 1 mana artifact, but 7 to use it. Destroy target permanent. 7 mana to remove anything. Like an annoying enchantment, maybe. Stick this into a deck with no enchantment removal. Sailor of Means, human pirate, 3 mana, 1/4. Enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. Another Dragon Egg, another Sky Diamond, Bitter Revelation. Yep, had that earlier. Finehorn Elves! Ah! Why am I excited about Finehorn Elves? Why am I excited about just the different name for Llanowar Elves? Because they're from Ice Age, and the original Ice Age elves didn't even look like elves. It was crappy art. This art is much better. I'm just happy. Because 1, More elves, cool. Mana ramp, cool. And they're Finehor elves. They're Ice Age elves in better art. Oh, that makes me feel good. Scholar of Stars enters the battlefield. If you control an artifact, draw a card. Meh. Another Sky Whaler Shart. Sky Whaler Shot. I don't think you're going to take down a whale with a shart. It has to be maybe a dragon shart. Armillary Sphere. 2 mana artifact, 2 to use. Sack it. Search your library for up to 2 basic lands. Reveal them. Put them into your hand. Fiery Cannonade. Another one of that. Seer's Lantern. 3 mana to tap 1 for generic. Or 2 to scry 1. Well, this has some flexibility to it. Monstrous Onslaught. 5 mana to deal X damage divided any way you choose on any number of target creatures, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control as you cast this spell. Okay. Vow of Flight. So something gains flying +2/+2, but can't attack me or my planeswalkers. Which, as I mentioned in the earlier videos, probably for political purposes. Playing the table. Kangi's Lieutenant, Bird Soldier, 3 mana for 1/1 flyer. When it attacks, attacking creatures with flying get +1/+1 until end of turn, and this thing's got Encore. Promise of Tomorrow, 3 mana. Whenever a creature you control dies, exile it. At the beginning of each end step, if you control no creatures, sacrifice Promise of Tomorrow and return all cards exiled with it to the battlefield under your control. I could see synergy with this card from another certain legendary guy I pulled in the first video. Thallus, Revenant Medium. 5 mana human cleric 3/4. At the beginning of each end step, create X/1/1 spirit creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of tokens you created this turn. So she cares about tokens and reproducing them. I don't think I got anything to work with her so far. Essior, Wardwing Familiar. 2 mana for 1/3 flyer. Spells your opponents cast that target 1 or more commanders you control costs 3 more to cast, and this guy's got Partner. Okay, I like the security this guy offers. Ooh, what is this? Mythic foil mythic. Rayhan, Last of the Abzan. Human warrior, green and black, 3 mana. Enters the battlefield with 3/+1/+1 counters on it. When a creature you control dies or is put into the command zone, if it had 1 or more +1/+1 counters on it, you may put that many +1/+1 counters on target creature. Okay. I think we already have a cares about counters theme happening. So I think we're going to end up in green again. Green and black. And we do have that spirit, so we can maybe find something else to work with it. Alright, I'm leaning towards green and black again. What about you guys? What are you guys thinking so far? Man, where are these packs are hardo. Maybe throw in some red. Maybe go more red. Okay, Exquisite Huntsmaster again. Haunted Cloak. Sure, that's another good one again. Core Cartographer. What do you do, Core Cartographer? 4 mana for 2/2. Enters the battlefield. You may search your library for a Plains card. Put into battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Preordain. Scry 2, then draw a card. Portent of Betrayal. Pulled that for sure earlier. Lifecrafter's Gift. Here we go. More towards the +1/+1 theme. Remember, no singleton in this commander. Angel of Dawn, 3/3 flying angel. She this is a pretty looking angel. I like the red wings, juxtaposing the whites and the blues. All those doves flying. Enters the battlefield. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain vigilance until end of turn. Prying Eyes. Another marbled diamond. Another annoyed allosaur. Court Street Denizen. Loomgrid Gargoyle. I think I've pulled like, this is the third or fourth one. Omen Speaker from one of the Theros blocks. Coastline Marauders. Alright. 3 mana for a 0/3 human pirate with trample. When it attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each land defending player controls. Oh, look at that. If you're really ramping, that's going to suck for you, green. And it's got Encore, so it can come back in threefold. Meteor Golem. Warden of Evos Isle. Creature spells with flying you cast cost 1 less to cast. Rings of Bright Hearth. 3 mana artifact. Whenever an activated ability, if it isn't a mana ability, you may pay 2. If you do, copy that ability. You may choose new targets for the copy. Okay, that seems handy dandy. Hey, Croc the Thumbless. There's a lot of talk about you, but I don't have anything that involves flipping coins, so I don't think there's going to be any use for you. But you're a fun pull. I've seen so much talk about you, so much lore talk about you, game tech talk about you. Anyway, moving on. Prava of the Steel Legion. 3 mana for 1/4 Cat Warrior. As long as it's your turn, creature tokens you control get +1/+4. Hey, that's kind of cool. 4 mana to create a 1/1 white soldier creature token, and this guy has partner. Oh, I didn't realize he's legendary. Okay. I don't think for this deck, but a soldier commander deck with all those soldier tokens, +1/+4. Prava of the Steel Legion. We're starting to create some tokens, and we had a guy here. Can you partner? You can partner. You can partner. But she can't partner. Right? She's in the rest of the deck, maybe. Okay, moving on. Oh, foil. I like how his eyes glow on this foil. I don't know if the video's catching it, how his eyes glow. That's cool. What do you do, Elemental Wizard, for 2 mana? Whenever a commander you control deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to each other opponent. Wow, that could be super handy dandy. Salamander Warrior. These guys look much more fierce than Merfolk. 4/3. That's cool. Alright. Last one for pre-release set 2. Come on, open. Okay, another Rummaging Goblin. Natural Reclamation, destroy target artifact or enchantment, and Cascade. Viscera Seer, sacrifice a creature to scry 1. So 1/1 for 1. Another Angelic Gift. Another Deranged Assistant. Another Court Denizen. Staunch Throne Guard. 5 mana for 2/5. Enters the battlefield. I become the monarch, and it has vigilance. Azure Fleet Admiral. That's a high rank there. 4 mana, 3/3, human pirate. Enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. And it can't be blocked by creatures the monarch controls. So if someone else is the monarch, this guy is unblockable. Amorphous Axe that can give a creature +3/+3 and becomes all creature types. Prophetic Prism enters the battlefield, draw a card, and we can pay 1 to tap and add 1 mana of any color. Isn't this practically Astrolabe, Arkham's Astrolabe, except you don't have to deal with snow-covered mana? Okay. Wild Celebrants. Oh, you wild and crazy satyrs. 5 mana for 5/3, enters the battlefield, you may destroy target artifact. Eye Blight Colors. Command Tower. That's what was missing. I was wondering, are we going to go through a whole set without Command Tower for this build? Faith's Fetters. Enchant a permanent for 4 mana. You gain 4 life. And the permanent can't attack or block, and it's activated ability. So it's an arrest with gain 4 life. Okay. Orzhov Advocist. 3 mana for 1/4. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player may put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature they control. If a player does, that player controls can't attack you or planeswalkers you control until your next turn. Huh. Politics, politics, politics. Armorcraft Judge, an elf artificer. 4 mana for a 3/3. Enters the battlefield, draw a card for each creature you control +1/+1 counter on it. Yeah. Still leaning heavy on green. Rejuvenating Springs. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you have 2 or more opponents. I like these lands. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Beautiful. And quite handy. What are you? Clofinor, the last you. I don't like this name. I don't like this name. It's too close to something else. 6 mana, 3/7, vigilance and reach. Whenever the last you or another creature you control dies, return up to 1 other target creature card with lesser toughness from the graveyard to your hand. Alright, now I'm leaning towards this guy. Making a green, black, white deck. What do you guys think? Can still fit this guy in there. Can still get Rayhan in there. Armix Filigree Thrasher. A black golem, 3 mana, 3/2. It's legendary. When it attacks, you may discard a card. When you do, target creature defending player controls get -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of artifacts you control plus the number of artifacts cards in your graveyard. Interesting. And another Corpse Churn, but in foil. And a rock. See previous video, Goblin Artificer, the Weaponsmith. Why I'm laughing at this. I love it. I love this rock. Okay. So, again, I'm leaning heavy on green. I like my black. And these are my legendaries. We got Clofinor, Rayhan, Thalisay, Hamza, Kangi. These are my multicolored ones. So if we go for our Clofinor, we can do Rayhan. We can also include Thalisay. We can also include Hamza. Let's see. We also have our Armix. And let's see, we have any other legends? So I'm thinking a touch of white. A touch of white, mostly green. with a lot of black support. What are your thoughts? Let me know. If you guys think maybe we should go in a totally different direction, definitely let me know. Like, let me know what I'm overlooking, the potential I'm missing. So we got 2 blue legendaries, Essior and Malcolm. Yeah, we also have a Cadis, and Cadis does seem to have a lot of potential. We also got the Kark, but he's kind of useless for me. Now we also have Dargo. I mean, he seems complicated to use, but there is going to be some synergy, because we want to get our Dragon Egg dead to get something more useful out. We got Coercive Recruiter, which can take over someone else's creature that we can sacrifice. Got 2 of those. And we do have a sack outlet here, so maybe we should go red, because it would make sense to get our Impulsive Pilfer into the graveyard. What are you guys thinking? Should we be going red instead? Oh, we got 2 Dragon Eggs here. Is that the same Dragon Egg? No, we got 2 Dragon Eggs, and we got 2 of these Recruiters. Maybe go red, get some use out of Dargo and Kedis. Let me know, let me know. Also, whatever we're lacking, we can get that spirit thing in. Alright, we have Numa Yorga. Alright, got our land situation. I mean, we can go Simic, blue-green, but I didn't see anything too great in blue. That was worth throwing blue in there. We got a command tower for our land, so that'll fix mostly anything. I mean, we got a Prophetic Prism that could help fix our mana, no matter what it is. We got a White Rock. We got a Blue Rock. Another Blue Rock. There's that Prismatic Piper. Rupture Spire, Runes of Ancestry, got a Red Rock, and we got Is It Color land right here. Alright, so I'm still leaning towards the green-black. Probably going to end up using this as my commander if I was to build it myself, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for you guys to chime in. Give me your input. The community knows more than I do. I've never even actually played a game of Commander, only watched other people play it so far. What should I do? How should I build this 60 card deck with no singleton? Let me know. Really eager to hear it in the comments, your thoughts and ideas. I have no idea what to build right now. Let me know. Don't forget, there's always one of this guy. There's a Sengir the Dark Baron to play with also, no matter. He didn't come from the boosters, but he was the included card when doing pre-release. Let me know. I am excited to hear your ideas. Thank you for tuning in, YouTube land. Professional.